All right, we are here. Hello, Fit Pros. How are you today? Y'all, jump in, say hello right away as you get into the room, please. Yes, come in, tell us hello, start submitting your questions. Come in, please, and tell us where you're watching from and whether or not you are attending SCW Mania this weekend. So you guys, you are watching the Fit Pros Show. This is the one and only show created live and interactive to connect fitness professionals with information, resources, and each other. This month, we are concluding a series with SCW Fitness Education, where we have been meeting all of their faculty and staff. And that concludes with Dallas Mania, which is this weekend. I will be speaking tomorrow at 9 a.m. and we'll get Dane's sessions in just a second. And so that's this weekend, scwfit.com/Dallas if you have not registered and would like to attend. And we are here today with Dane Robinson. Hello, Dane.
Hi, everybody. How are you?
Hey, so tell us a little bit about yourself. I want to hear all about your background and your specialties.
Man, there's not enough hours in the day if we really want to get down to it. But that being said, I'll give you the Spark Notes version. I don't know if the Spark Notes are still a thing, but I'm originally from Baltimore, Maryland. I am a college graduate of the University of Buffalo, go Bulls. And I found myself as a resident here in Atlanta, Georgia. I've been here since 2014. And, for me, being a college athlete, I got my degree in marketing. I held on to that piece of paper for a second and I was like, now what? What do I do with this piece? What do I do with this piece of paper? Had my hand at the professional level with football. Really, making my career in arena football, but really always kind of at the same time, because in arena football, that's not NFL money, right? So it was good living for 6 months, but you still had to have like something else that you were doing. And that's where I started to really try to figure out that, okay, I like working out, like most fitness professionals start off like thinking that, let me give this a shot and let's kind of work there. Got my certification. Fast forward 11 years later, mopping floors at Valley Total Fitness, regional managing. I get to sit here in front of Kelly.
Love it. I love it. That was the down and dirty version.
Yeah, I told you, Spark Notes. I try to be time efficient. I can get very long-winded sometimes, as my wife would say.
Tell us more about football.
It is a microcosm of life. In short, I played since I was in high school. Fun fact: basketball was my first love. But, I stopped at 6'2". That's like the height of a point guard. For those of you that don't know, I am not a point guard. I don't have the handles or the skill, the hand-eye coordination. And football came into play because it's a sport where I don't have to interact with the football. I was a defensive end, so I was like, all right, see ball, go chase ball, go tackle guy with ball. I'm like, oh, that's easy. I can do that. Lucky enough, again, I got bribed with a college education to go to Buffalo and rock and roll that. But football has been a foundation of my life. It's where I met my wife. My wife was in the recruiting office when we were in college. She's been my biggest supporter in that venture. And then also, again, another side note, I actually coach football, but not how you think. I actually coach a women's football team here in Atlanta. So.
Oh, no kidding. That is super cool.
File that under things that you would not expect from Dane.
Yeah, I love that. Okay, so full pads and helmets and everything. It's not like lingerie football.
Oh, it is almost like lingerie football. So fun fact that you've mentioned that. So the league that we're in, it's gone through a lot of evolution. Back when I first got started coaching, I've been coaching for 8 years now. It was coming out of the lingerie football era, so to speak. Mm-hmm. It manufactured and moved into what was known as the Legends Football League, still having some, I would think it was an evolution of the uniform to some degree because you went from chokers and garters to a little bit more, better aesthetic. And then as we're at right now in 2020, we're known as the X League, and we actually just debuted a new uniform that is still keeps the feminine aspect to our ladies, but again, it's full padded up top. And we actually wear hockey helmets to, for visuals so that we can the viewer can see their face and whatnot there. But then also we have NFL Hall of Famer Mike Ditka as the new chairman and overseer of the X League. So that's been a long 8 years for progression. So it's funny you should mention Lingerie Football. It was that at one time, and we have made so many strides to where we are now.
That is very cool. So cool athletic opportunity for women. There's still some sort of feminine aspect to it. But I know even when it was lingerie football, it was amazing athletics.
Oh my goodness. Like these athletes are really, it's funny enough, I'm coaching these athletes in the stride of their womanhood, right? My youngest will be, early 20s. My oldest will be late 30s. But yet they're all learning the lessons I learned with football that has helped me in life and helped me as my fitness professional career, that they're learning that right now. And I get to teach them that outside of also, being a successful football team, subtleties of like teamwork, subtleties of what you do when nobody's watching and will show up when everybody does. Ideals that hard work beats talent when talent refuses to work hard. Because I know there's probably a bunch of fit pros that are probably much more talented than me, but I try to always figure out how can I outwork, how can I just be the hardest worker in the room, and that will help me elevate where those that might have more talent than me. But I learned that from football, and I get to push that to these ladies on a weekly basis.
I love that. So when you see me taking notes, it's because I'm going to take what you said and put it out to the group as a post later on. So I'm taking down nuggets.
I'm full of quotes. That's one thing about being a football player and a football coach. Our football coach, all the quotes.
Very cool. Very cool. So your specialty in fitness is really around personal training and athletic training and athletic development?
Well, I would say it's funny if I'm going to rank them, it would be small group training. It would be athletic training just because like you don't ever that never like leaves you as an athlete. So you carry that in, or I've carried that in as far as the offerings of what I do from a fitness professional standpoint. And like, it's funny, personal training is like on like the bottom of the totem pole and whatnot. When I got my start as a fit pro, I walked into a studio up in Buffalo, New York, and the owner at the time was just like, all right, Dane, well, what we do here is semi-private training. And I'm just like, what is that? what is semi-private training? So I was actually brought up starting to coach more than one person. That's where I got my start, and that evolved into small group training to large group training. But obviously understanding that personal training was a big part of me. So if I was going to rank them, I would say personal training is actually third. I enjoy it. But in some senses, it actually kind of feels awkward to me because, I enjoy a group. I enjoy an audience there, and just kind of having, helping people in that frame.
Very cool. Very cool. Yeah. Small group training. I had Shannon Fable on a while back, and she was talking about how small group is really a completely different breed of instructor than just a group fitness instructor. And it's different than a personal trainer, because she kind of defined it as that the group fitness instructor is the unfulfilled rock star. Like you grew up wanting to be a rock star, it didn't happen, so you get to go and perform in front of a group, a little bit more of a performer, whereas a small group trainer is a different breed. And then a personal trainer, I think personal trainers are almost more like the doctors of our industry. Like they really get into the kinesthetics, and they really geek out on the science and the movement and that sort of thing. So what would you say defines a great small group trainer?
It's a good point. And legendary with Shannon Fable, I still remember scraping 2 pennies together to go out to fly to California for a ACE convention to see her and Todd Durkin and all these other fitness professionals I still look up to talk. So it was awesome that you had her on the show. But I would say the small group trainer is the hybrid. We talked before we went live here when I was a regional manager, and I was, not only creating and developing programs and managing budgets and everything, but I was also developing, the group X instructor and the personal trainer to be a great small group trainer. And that was kind of the points that you made, like saying for the group X, the group X instructor is like the unfulfilled rock star. It was like, hold on to that personality, but at the same time, like, you have to show that you read a book or two. You have to make sure that somebody understands that you can actually help them and they feel safe with you. So you have to be able to educate along the lines, other than being like a great motivator, which is all well and good. But you have to show that there's more to that, because they're going to see past the personality eventually, and that's going to get old, and they're not going to feel safe with you. Taking the personal trainer and saying, great, I know you know everything head to toe with the human body, awesome, but we have to develop some sort of stage presence. We have to take who you are and kind of turn the dial up to about 10 or 11 in that avenue. So that's where I always remember, and still to this day, coaching fitness pros on those two avenues of blending it together and making it kind of move in harmony without deviating away from who they are as a person.
Yeah. So I feel like I could understand that from a group fitness professional aspect, which is where I've always been. I've always been spin instructor, kickboxing, yoga, step. I geeked out on step for I started in 94, and that's what I did, is step. And then what's that?
Les Mills or BTS?
Oh, I was freestyle.
Oh, all right. Neither.
I did do body pump. I taught body pump, but I had quit for 5 years during my career when I was doing websites. And then when I came back, I couldn't remember that language. For the life of me, step just... And I mean, I'm telling you, 15 years, like 16 classes a week. I loved it, but I couldn't remember it. So I can understand from a group fitness instructor perspective how you would just kind of pepper in more of the language and the training and the knowledge that you've got. How do you train a personal trainer to become more the unfulfilled rock star?
Oh, I'm not going to lie. It's easier to take the group X person and kind of, give them a little bit more avenue of be who you are, but be there with more like context, be there with a little bit more like, levels to your coaching other than motivation. For the fitness professional, it really is, it's a longer learning curve. And I am doing a lot of like personality nudging. I would say for anybody watching this and you are a personal trainer getting into small group training or large group training, whichever, it would be, we talk about archetypes. And I have friends up at a company called Talent Hack up in New York City, and they define like these archetypes where are you the enlightened? You inspire people all the time. Are you the comedian? Are you the drill instructor? Hey, we're here to do work and that's it. The technical buff, which most personal trainers are. Are you the best friend? You can relate to people really easily. It was to help personal trainers move into that unfulfilled rock star kind of territory. Like, let's get to know what's your primary archetype? What's your secondary? Like, know thyself. So let's know ourselves a little bit so you can start to lean into that harder so that you create your persona. And, depending on whatever class or modality that you're teaching, let's apply that so that, again, you have great base foundation of knowledge, but we have to now take your archetype and let your knowledge be expressed through that primary and secondary archetype.
Very cool. I gotcha. That makes a lot of sense, because when you first said it, I just thought, I don't know how you would do that, but that makes a lot of sense to kind of help people to understand who they are better just in their own personality, and then just bring more of that out and just amplify it.
Sometimes, it's monkey see, monkey do. And I always try to negate the thought of, when they see me on stage or if I'm doing a class, like my primary is like the energizer. Like I'm like going to be like just as much caffeine as like your cup of coffee. But my secondary is going to be the enlightened, the motivator, the inspirer, because too much of like Dane the energizer, like I know people would be like, too much. Turn it down, dude. So I have to cut that with my secondary with some inspiration and motivation, kind of make you think about your decisions, your life, your emotions for a second. But that being said is, I would get a lot of fit pros or pros that see me and they try to be me. And I would say, run your own race, create your own narrative, and that's where, a fitness professional, especially a personal trainer, they have to know thyself. They have to know their own archetype. It's fine if it's similar, but you have to run your own race. So I've always tried to tell any fit pro that I've either coached or has questions and like, well, I want to be like you. I'm like, like there's only one of me. There's only one of you. I can't do what you do. I can't do what Kelly does. I can't express myself that way. So Kelly has to find her own route, even though we may share similar archetypes.
Yeah. Awesome. So Dane, what is your favorite thing about your career in fitness?
It's again, same thing. We talked about it before we went live here, is that I am by no means do I like what's going on in our world right now, pandemic wise, politically, all these different things and whatnot. But I would say since, we moved into a pandemic era, of our industry or of our world, I've been really enjoyed the fact of coaching fit pros on pivots, having, being top of mind with, clients that were either in my classes or my small group training that maybe wanted that more one-on-one avenue there, and me having the opportunity to do so. So I think, and then still being able to do this, connect with our industry, being a part of the SCW staff, going on 2 years now, this was such a major turning point for me in my fitness career. So being able to do all the above, I get to do virtual training, I get to do small group training, I get to do personal training, I get to speak on great platforms like this and with SCW. And, I still have opportunities with, I would say the elevation and expansion with, what not only do we here locally, but part of my fitness professional career right now is on camera coaching, if you couldn't tell, with QVC and Total Gym, being able to work with those two companies, and then with a company up and called Daily Burn up in New York City, where that was, again, a big pivot. So those are, I know, a long answer to a short question, but I am really enjoying all the above of really being in the trenches and executing myself as a great fitness professional, where, I had to I'm the 11-year overnight success. I've been in this thing for 11 years, and it took me a while to get to a point where I'm just like, okay, I looked to my left, looked to my right. I love what's happening.
Love it. I love it. You have a great attitude.
It goes back to football. Football will teach you a lot. It will teach you about having a great attitude. My defensive coordinator back in college hated the guy. It's like any parent or like any child or parent. Like, you're just like, you look at the older Florida figure and just like, yeah, whatever. As 21-year-old Dane. But I find myself saying the same things now as a 33-year-old man at this point. And attitude was always the biggest one of them, where we would always say, he would always tell us and harp on us that life was 10% what happens to us, 90% how we react to it. So again, yeah. Mindset just comes from, again, what I experienced on the gridiron.
Okay, so a little bit of a pivot, but I think it might come back to what you're saying. How do you practice self-care? So in July, we talked all about self-care because a lot of us were burning the candle at both ends with COVID, with having to make this big pivot, everybody going online. There was a lot of talk about online and not a lot of talk about, not trying to pour from an empty vessel. So we started to think about filling that vessel back up. And so I want to hear from you. How do you practice self-care?
It's number one, is a work in progress for me. I was going to say self-care, usually comes in a coffee cup, in the morning, with, I would say maybe, if I'm feeling frisky, maybe one Splenda or anything like that. But, that coffee cup, just like that. But I would say the three realms that this falls into. Number one is the fact that being so engaged with helping other people towards their fitness, what helped me with my self-care still to this day was just like, again, I know it goes without saying, but like getting my own fitness in and not being tied to a certain time avenue. If it was 60 minutes, cool. I rarely have 60 minutes to work out. So it's going to be 30. It's going to be going on a run. It's going to be something low impact because, I've been doing, bouncing around all day. So I need something a little bit low impact or something that just makes me feel good. So I'm just going to do some core stuff because, again, like core makes me feel good. It makes a lot of people feel good. So number one would be going back to our own fitness avenues, because contrary to popular belief of, the fitness enthusiasts that look at us as the fitness pro saying like, oh my God, you work out all the time. I'm like, yeah, not really. I might work out, but I'm not working out for myself in that avenue.
It's hard. It's hard to find your own workout time when you're teaching a whole lot.
It's damn near impossible. That's why I don't hinge myself to I got to get 60 minutes in. If I got 15 minutes in, all right, it's going to be good. So I would say between that and really at the end of the day, I would say the second thing would be looking at your circle. Like you said, you can't, give energy to others if others are taking away that energy. And I've been a big advocate of that, in all aspects of my life, but especially when I look at my fitness career. And I want to be around, I'll give you another quote here. I don't know who said it, but thoroughbreds hang out with other thoroughbreds, not jackasses. So I wanted to just be around other thoroughbreds.
I'm writing it down.
That's also a pretty easy one to remember because that's such a nice punctuation to it. But I wanted to be around other fitness professionals that were just not content on just kind of cruising along. They were always working on different avenues of their business or their programming or projects. And again, Kelly, I would say you're a thoroughbred. The platform you create, how you try to, continue to move fitness professionals in a positive direction in a weird time in our industry. That's who I always want to be around, whether it's
tear up a little.
What was that?
You just made me tear up a little.
I'm just talking facts. If I'm lying, I'm dying. I'm looking, I'm still here. So you being able to do that, but even though, again, if I can't do it here locally, within 6 feet of space between me and the next person, I'm doing it virtually. I'm doing it online. And that's what allows me that's part of my self-care. Is managing my circles of influence very tightly and very closely. So I'm always feeling lifted up, dragged up, and pushed forward than having my energy kind of taken away and sucked out like a vampire.
Oh my gosh. You know what is so amazing that you just said? All of that is that I'm not lying. Just this morning, I saw a quote and it was about boundaries. And I started to think about, I was specifically thinking about a lesson that I was about to do for my virtual studio business accelerator. But one of the things was around boundaries in your relationships. And it was exactly that. The 5 people that you hang out with you're the medium of the 5 people that you hang out with. And then I literally had this thought, we talked for a month about self-care and nobody mentioned boundaries and nobody mentioned relationships. And then I've asked that question to every single pro and they've had great answers, but nobody mentioned boundaries or relationships.
That's just something that, again, we give to so many other people, is that if we can't absorb that from somebody else, we have ultimate control of that. I may not have control of I would say I have pretty good time freedom as far as how I structure my day. But again, I want to run a 12-hour days because I want to, but that can sometimes, again, I can feel I'm out of control. My sphere of influence, my circles, my boundaries that I set, I'm always in control of that, and I don't get angry these days over people that may not fit that avenue. It's totally okay because I'm just going to divert my attention to those that, again, are building for themselves, that are moving others, and I'm just going to stick with the other thoroughbreds because we're going to run this race at the front of the pack and not worry about the jackasses behind us.
I love it. Okay, so what do you see as the biggest opportunity for the industry and for individual professionals? Or you can give me one or the other, whichever way you want to do it.
I feel like this answer can change at a week's notice, depending on what's going on. But I would say this, the biggest opportunity, I think, for our industry is honestly to continue to make the statement that health is wealth, is that now more than ever, people are paying attention to their health, whether because of, again, because of COVID. People are paying attention to, whether it's their, immune system or, their cardiorespiratory avenues or whatnot. Or again, they have socially distanced, they've done all the right things. They're just in the house, not moving, and they gained a couple pounds. Like, health is wealth now. And our industry is so resilient in the sense that even during times like this is why, we're not heading towards 2021, which can't get here sooner enough, maybe, fingers crossed, is that nobody's like, man, I wish I wasn't as fit as I was, or man, my health is not important, or man, there's a reason why you can't find toilet paper and dumbbells on Amazon. And if you can, let me know, because I need some, like yesterday. So
Yeah.
so that's the big opportunity, I think, for our industry, for the fitness professional. It is the fact that, and again, for anybody watching, is again, like, hop into like groups and coaching programs and systems like your virtual fitness accelerator, because like that allows us to have ultimate reach. A lot of reach now as a fitness professional. I'm not just anchored to what happens here in Atlanta. Like, now all of a sudden I can have reach people in California, and I do now because of something like COVID and where we're at in our world, to connect with people in California and Colombia and back home where I'm at in Baltimore. That's the opportunity for the fitness professional. But we do have to remember is that it's not just going to happen because we turn on the camera, we do one social media post. It's a continuation and it's a build. But if you build it and you have a foundation, you can build on that foundation. You can have a nice structure. Then you can start decorating inside the house and with, pictures and paint and all that stuff as far as your career goes. But that's the one, I think, the biggest opportunity is that the reach for the Fit Pro is bigger than it has ever been. But they have to be strategic about it.
Yeah, absolutely. I love it. And you have to get started.
Yes. I mean, like, just put it out there. And you'll iron out the kinks as you go along. And whatever. Like imperfect action is better than no action at all. Another quote.
Connection over perfection.
Oh, look at you. Okay. Oh, hold on. I have my phone here. I'm gonna type that in. I'm gonna write it down. I mean, listen, because I do a lot of data dump as far as like, if I store something, it's like, how much do I have to really remember between programs and everything there? Can you say that one more time? Because I just now forgot it already.
Connection over perfection.
Connection over, and it has a nice little like rhythm to it.
Yeah. Yeah. But that's what it's all about. You got to get it out there and just do it. And then worry about the decorations and everything later. My first yoga class, I taught it right here. And there used to be a huge painting of a naked woman right there. And it was behind me and it looked terrible. And everything about the class looked awful, but I put it out there. It's probably still out there somewhere. I'm sure it is. I know it. I know it is, you guys. If you go find it, don't post the link. Okay. Tell us what you're going to be teaching at SCW Dallas.
So SCW Dallas, now forgive me because I do not, I probably should know the schedule. I should know. But that being said, Friday, I'm doing the ultimate fitness equation because programming for us as Fit Pros can get very complicated. I'll give you the ultimate fitness equation in 5 seconds. Push, pull, squat, lunge, bend, twist. That's it. But we applied that to our programming personal training small group. On Saturday, I'll be on a panel with a couple of my SCW teammates, just talking about the future of our industry, the future of personal training, and really being able to provide not only insight, but action points that way. So that's going to happen on Saturday. And then on Sunday, I'll be doing 2 presentations. One is going to be what we call the athletic advantage. So any fit pros that were either athletes, or sometimes the myth is that if I wasn't an athlete, I can't do athletic performance training. That's wrong. You absolutely can, but it is a different style of training, and there's a lot of motivation, and there's a certain kind of track that you do want to make sure that you take, so you can train athletes, whether they're male, female, young, older athletes, whatever the case may be, or just like maybe you want to weave athletic training into what you're doing with your Joes and Janes already. And then last but not least, we were doing a presentation called and this might connect with your group fitness background, the Fit Pro Music Crash Course, because music, especially in a small group environment, is really important. Not only being able how to build playlists, but being able to listen to, hearing the beats of music, being able to, and whether it comes in a group fitness sense, like Les Mills and Body Pump, where you got to be on your 5, 6, 7, 8s, or just being able to hear a simple like rhythm and tempo. And does that match what you can do in your small group training avenue of, do you want something to be, slow tempo, creating more time and attention, more strength work, or fast tempo because you're doing more cardio conditioning and HIIT? It all applies. And it's a really fun session to coach.
Oh, I love that. That's awesome. So that's Friday and Saturday. And then do you have anything Sunday, or was the music on Sunday?
Yeah, so Friday will be programming, basically. Saturday will be personal training panel with my SCW teammates. And then Sunday, you get a double dose of Dane with athletic performance coaching and then music coaching.
Awesome. Awesome. I love it. I can't wait. I'm going to jump in. So as a speaker, I get to jump into some of those sessions and watch. Yes. So I'll be there.
I was going to say, Kelly, can you let me know, like, what sessions are you coaching? I told you mine. I need to know yours.
So I'm first of the day. I'm just doing one, and it's called The Challenge, The Payoff. It's tomorrow morning, first session of the day. And it's about kind of what I've done here at the group, where I came in, I started my show, then I did a challenge. So the way that I recruit people into the Virtual Studio Business Academy is that I have a week-long challenge. I pour into them. I love them. I make sure that they make progress, and it's all about teaching online. So I get everybody teaching online and taking payment in that week. And then some of them are going to want to make that full really transition from being a gym employee to being an entrepreneur. And that's really where I can relate, because I have bootstrapped my business over the last 6 years, and I can help them to do that. So it's a 6-month program. It's a longer program. And that one is paid. The challenge is free. So it's all about what we're going to do in the challenge. And then I'll talk a little bit about how you can use that challenge model to recruit people into your online fitness programs.
So again, challenge
that all into an hour.
Yeah, good luck on that one. And again, any fitness professional watching that, again, it's like how you get these quick wins. But especially when you talk about the challenge model, everybody's competitive. You don't have to be a football player to be competitive, but everybody's competitive either with themselves or with their spouse or with their own goals and everything. And that's why the challenge model has worked continuously well and will continue to work well in our industry. But again, if we don't have a strategy behind it, like you're already coaching, then we will either say it didn't work, or it will be something we put a week time into and we never built anything after that. So it's kind of like, well, I tried to fail, or we maybe not get the results that we are looking for. So we judge ourselves on short-term failures or successes. And we don't continue to play the long game.
So true. So true. Yeah. Everything that you do now that we are all online, everything that you do has to be strategic. So if you are still giving something away for free, there needs to be an end game to that. You need to know why you're giving it away for free. So it's okay that I've got 250 people coming to boot camp for free next week. A few of them will join the accelerator and a lot of them won't. And all of that is okay. I'm happy to have the people who come in and make progress and never join the accelerator. And I'm even happier to have the people that join the accelerator. But it is so much fun. The challenge model of bringing people into your orbit like that is so much fun and so rewarding. It's exhilarating. I love it.
I can hear it just in like the tempo and you try us as fitness professionals, especially in the small group avenue, you learn to listen. You hear words, but you hear how they're being said, and just everything you said, just the tempo and the exhilaration in your voice kind of affirms everything about how excited you are just to help our people in our industry.
I'm excited to talk about it tomorrow.
Okay, what time? I'm trying to think of my own schedule.
Yeah, and now I'm going, okay, is it 8 or is it 9? Hold on, I'm going to look at my calendar.
Because everything's on Central Time with SCW, and it throws me off all the time.
So it's at 9 a.m. Eastern, which is 8 a.m. Central, and that would be 6 a.m. 6 a.m. Pacific.
I don't know about you. I give all the props of like when I say a text in the chat, like, hey, where are you guys from? And somebody says like something like Oregon or California. And I'm like looking at my clock and I'm just like, damn, like shout out to y'all.
Yeah, exactly. Well, next week when I do the boot camp, it'll be at 10 a.m. I'll do my live lessons in the group at 10 a.m. Eastern, which is 7 a.m. Pacific. And I did that on purpose so that those Pacific people, they can still join, but it's not 9 a.m. It's not so early that they're kind of having to set their alarm clock to get out of bed for it.
If it's not on Eastern Standard Time, like did it really ever happen at all?
I agree with you because we're both on the East Coast.
Yes.
Well, beautiful. This has been so much fun. I really enjoyed hearing more about small group training with you.
This has been just an opportunity to just really tie together everything that again is our fitness industry. It's about community. It's about connection. It's about being a continuous student. I think the term is about being a forever student there. And really, at the end of the day, for us as leaders in our industry, and everybody is a leader. Every Fit Pro is a leader. Whether you've been in it a year, a month, 11 years, whatever. Everybody's a leader because you're leading somebody. My last quote, I'll toss this out there, is that a leader of one, a leader of many. If you can't lead one person, you can't lead anybody. And we lead people on a daily basis. Whether you just have one client, whether you have 100 clients, whether one person comes to your class, 20 people come to class, whatever, you're a leader with somebody, and you impact those people's lives one way or another. So this is what we've been able to do here in the last half an hour. I think is a microcosm of where our industry is at and where it can continue to grow with the thoroughbreds, not the jackasses.
I can't wait to talk to you again. This has been awesome.
Kelly, thank you so much for inviting me figuratively and literally into your home.
That's right. Thank you for having me in your home as well. So y'all, that is the Fit Pro show. You guys, this concludes the entire SCW takeover of the Fit Pro show. So y'all, next week we will only do Tuesdays. So from now on, I'm only doing Fit Pro show on Tuesday. And then I'm going to start working toward creating a podcast. And I'm going to use that Thursday time for that because we're all fitness professionals and we need to be able to move around while we're consuming our content. So I think people would much rather have me in their headphones than have to stare at me for an hour. So we're going to do that. And Dane, I just really appreciate you being here.
Again, anytime, hopefully I get another opportunity somewhere in the not too distant future. I cannot wait to collaborate with you a little bit more on your virtual fitness studio coaching. Sorry if I butchered that. But there's a lot of things that we can, as leaders and motivators ourselves, can share. So I'm interested. I can't wait to dive in more with you there as well.
Awesome. Anytime. Let's do it.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
All right. Thanks, guys. We'll see you soon. Mwah.